what was your son's name?
Gunner.
This is Gunner. This is the story of Gunner and how vaccines took his life at 2 months old. Disgraceful. Okay, it's beautiful, but beautiful baby. Alright, so guys, do you want to tell everyone your names?
Brandon.
And Leanne.
Vaughn.
Okay, and so how many children have you got?
4, and we lost Gunner.
Okay, so who is the eldest child? Who is the eldest child?
Charlie. He's in school.
And how old's he?
5. He just turned 5.
He just turned 5. And then was it Gunner?
Mm-hmm.
Who would have been
3
today. And then we have, who's Missy?
Bramley.
Hi.
Say hi.
She didn't want to. And she's 2. And then you have
Lively.
Lively.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good name. And how old is she?
8 months.
8 months. Okay, so this is very raw. I mean, it's really...
Well, her birthday is 1/17/17, and Gunner's was 1/14/14.
Okay.
So they're pretty close to birth times.
All right, let's talk about, because you were just telling me you used to be EMT.
Yeah, I'm on the volunteer fire department there in Sterling for about probably close to 10 years. That's what I used to want to be, was a fireman, EMT, you know. After we lost Gunner, I really don't have any drive to do that anymore. Just can't. Brings back too many memories.
Sure. So you guys were, when you were pregnant with your first child, were you anti-vaccine?
We weren't really anything. We never really questioned it. I mean, we both were vaccinated by our parents when we was kids, and it was just something you were supposed to do.
So you didn't think to question anybody?
Mm-mm.
So when you were pregnant with Gunner, did you have any vaccines?
Mm-hmm. I had the flu shot, and then I got the flu, and then
We brought Charlie home. I got the flu shot and got sick.
So you had the flu shot when your firstborn was born, because...
After he was born, I went ahead and got the flu shot so I wouldn't get him sick. And I haven't had the flu shot in a long time. And right after I got it, I felt like I had the flu. I mean, within, hours?
mm-hmm.
So in fact, you took the flu shot and got sick, which is highly not safe for your newborn child.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
And
so
maybe that's what kind of, I don't know, maybe that's what, I don't know. I still didn't question it. I just thought, that's what's supposed to happen. Right.
So when Gunner's born, do you think there's anything wrong with him?
There's nothing wrong with
He
it.
was a C-section baby.
We've got some lovely pictures here. Do you mind if I show them?
He was a C-section baby who came home the very next day after a C-section.
C-section baby, came home the next day. Was he vaccinated straight away with the vitamin? Did he have vitamin K and Hep B at birth?
Yes.
He's just adorable baby. What are we listening to? Noisy in the back? I can speak like that because she's an unvaccinated child, so I can yell at her. And she doesn't mind. She pays no attention whatsoever.
So you turn that down?
And then, what was this?
That's 1 week old picture, I guess.
There he is, 1 week old.
His proud brother.
Just trying to find something of him when he was bitty baby.
He was never even.
Well,
You've got absolutely, these are just adorable pictures. This is, I presume, brother with the baby, yes?
yes. He's well traveled.
So, I mean, he had 2 months of life, which is tragic. Describe Gunner. Describe the kind of baby that he was in those 2 months. Are these all pictures of him in that first 2 months, yeah?
Yeah.
He was happy. He was a nursing baby. He was constantly eating and growing.
He's real alert. I mean, pretty strong. He's already holding his head up by himself and everything. He's always looking around.
He was very nosy.
Very what?
Nosy.
So he was nosy, he was looking around, alert.
That's a hospital picture. That was the day he was born.
Mm-hmm.
This is the day he's born. Let's have a look at the picture. Yeah, I've already seen this picture. It's very cute. I've shown them this. It's very cute. The day he was born. He looks a strong little baby. So, you have no reason to not take him in for his 2-month checkup? How was he when you took him in?
The morning of that he went, he was happy, changed himself, nursing and everything. Just a normal day till we got there. He nursed in the waiting room.
You might have to speak up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a tiny bit. It's just difficult to hear.
He was
She's going to
happy.
give you so much trouble when she's a teenager. Do you know that? She's like, Dad, no. She reminds me of Bella. That's fine.
We can talk louder.
Yeah, talk loud. Alright, so you go in for this appointment and Gunnar is fine. He's not sick.
Mm-hmm. We argued with the doctor for about 30 minutes about his our worries and concerns about shots. And for 30 minutes he laughed and told us that he's an actual doctor and we shouldn't believe everything we read on Google.
Do you hear that, Pete? So they were concerned about the vaccines. They questioned the vaccines and they said you shouldn't believe everything you read on Google.
Mm-hmm.
And did they reassure you that he'd be fine?
Yes. I told him what I was worried about is I could not live with myself if SIDS happened.
You actually said that?
Yeah.
Were you both together there?
Yeah.
That
It's
was
all-
my biggest concern.
It all really started. At the time I was working on a drilling rig.
On the what?
I was working on a drilling rig,
Drilling rig.
so I was about 200 miles from the house. This is the day before. I got off work on Tuesday. He has his appointment on Wednesday. When I woke up Tuesday morning to head to work, I had a text message on my phone from like 3 o'clock in the morning. She'd been up all night. She just had a gut feeling about vaccines. And I got a text when I woke up that morning that said Gunnar is not getting his vaccines.
You wrote that?
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, yeah, he is. He has to. He has to have them. You know, he can't go to school. He can't do this because I was uneducated at that time.
Of course.
And so I said, look, let me go to work. I'll do my research, what I can today on the internet and this and that, and I'll get back with you. So I did. It was kind of a slow day at work, so all I was doing was researching myself, and by the end of the day, my text to her was, we're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. He's going to die if he gets his shot, and he's going to die if he don't get his shot. So I said, I don't know what to do. I said, we'll just go and talk to his pediatrician. I said, that's what we pay him for. He's the one with the education. I said, we'll talk to him, and we'll figure it out. So we went into this to his 2 months appointment with, we had a lot of concerns, and we was hoping to get some reassurance from the pediatrician.
And at least cut the shots up and do one at a time.
His exact words and reactions to us was he laughed in our face and told us that you can't believe everything you read on Google. And he said, yeah, there are risks with shots, but there's also risk with driving your car. That's why we wear seatbelts. And so I'm thinking, well, that don't help any. And so we just decided that it'd be best for him to have his vaccines.
No, I was still against him. He sent his nurse out of the room to get these shots, and I okayed it because he would not do anything to. We have one. He would not do anything to my baby that he hasn't already done to his own and his own grandkids. So I thought,
That's their
okay.
favourite line, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, the one about the seatbelts, that's not the first time I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Following the vax community, I've heard many people on forums and stuff say that their exact same doctors said that to them before. It's like they're coached to try to push the vaccines without caring about parents.
And he also said if I split him up, I was going to traumatize them and make him hate coming to the doctor. Because he'd have to come in weekly for a shot.
Alright, so do you know what he had that day?
Yes.
So we had HIB, Pediatrix, DTaP, Hep B and IPV, the dreaded deathly Prevnar,
your sister
And
just died.
Tech 3. Prevnar is from hell. These are all from hell. But Prevnar is especially made from hell. That is a deathly cocktail. Shame on it. I hope this doctor's still not practicing.
Matter of fact, he is. And also, he just got elected to be something. What was it? He just got elected to be over the state of Oklahoma.
On our medical committee.
He's got elected to some chair position.
Can I have his name?
Edward Legayco.
Edward Legayco.
Legayco. In Lawton, Oklahoma.
Okay, peeps, do your thing.
We have also went back to his office a day after our son died. Because we just had this conversation with him. Okay, he let us leave the doctor's office with my son passed out cold on the table. There was no waiting 30 minutes. Get him dressed, get him out. That's our
okay,
appointment.
slow down to tell me again. So he has these vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard. So he has these vaccines. And what happens?
He screamed for about a minute.
There in the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm. And before the nurse even turned around to leave the room, he was passed out. He just went to sleep. Get him dressed and y'all can go.
He didn't even care.
No.
The doctor never even came back in the room.
To check on him.
He just chucked the vaccines in and walked out.
He didn't even give them. The nurse did.
Can you spell that last name? What?
Legako.
Okay, Edward.
Mm-hmm.
Peeps, off you go. He must never touch another child again. That is disgusting.
Well, he thinks it. He's a real doctor.
Okay, so your child is passed out. The Legago guy walks out, and let me see if I can find you something. And well, then what happens? These are soft.
He stayed asleep. We went out to eat afterwards because it was about 4 o'clock when he got his shots. We went out to eat, and he was a nosy baby. He'd wake up getting in and out of a vehicle. He never woke up. We went out to eat. There was a temperature change because it was really cold. No, he didn't wake up. All the way, we stopped at a tire shop on the way home. He didn't wake up there. And
had you given him the Tylenol?
No, not yet.
No, we didn't.
And went to by the fire station. Didn't wake up there. Then we went to a convenience store in our hometown, and he woke up screaming. From then on, everything was just a spiral. It was nothing but uncontrollable crying. I couldn't soothe him. He refused to nurse. And when he finally did get to sleep, he'd sleep for a long stretch, wake up, not eat. He just screamed some more. And this went on.
Had an exploded diaper.
Yeah, his diaper, he had an explosion of diarrhea that he shouldn't have pooped that much for not nursing that day. And he woke up the last time about 4 or 4:30 in the morning. He tried to get him to nurse then, and he only took like 2 or 3 swallows. But that's the last time I held him alive.
I'm sorry. It is murder. Just remind you guys, this beautiful baby.
We went to talk to that doctor the next day, and I ended up leaving because I was going to end up murdering him.
The Edward Legago, whatever his name is.
Our other son had a real bad cold. He was real congested, and so he's going to get him in, try to get him taken care of. We didn't. I mean,
I had intentions
still don't
of
even know
talking
what we're doing.
strictly about this.
We don't even really know what we're doing. You know, we just lost our son.
So did he pass right there when you were holding him, or?
No, that was the last time he was alive. He was pronounced at 9:30 the next morning. That's less than 18 hours from when he got his shots. And it turned out that all of this was not normal screaming like they tell you, which is normal. It was beyond that. His legs were so sore I
The thing
couldn't
that-
even touch him.
The thing
His
that
legs were so sore.
The thing that really pissed me off about them is they never even went through. Look, okay, if this happens, if this happens, if this happens, if this happens, y'all need to come bring him back in. There was nothing. I mean,
No, it was the normal. They're going to be fussy.
Yeah.
They're going to have a fever. Give them Tylenol.
yeah, there was no. I mean, watch out for this or watch out for that. There's none of that. It was just
Tenderness on injection site. That's the same thing they've always preached. Tylenol. He didn't even take his Tylenol. He spit it out during the night.
Did you file a VAERS report on this? Good peeps, good guys.
We tried to get the Edward Legaco to, and he
said
refused.
that we're the parents, and of course they took him to the city and they did an autopsy and all that on him. They've not even released any information to us. We're his parents, and they're saying it's still undergoing investigation. That they can't find out
It was a coincidence.
cause of death. The reason at first they ruled it plausible asphyxiation, because when she picked him up at 4:30 in the morning, she laid him in bed with us, and when we woke up at 9:30 in the morning, I found him.
Okay, you're just getting in a hurry and you're skipping things. It went from undetermined to SIDS
I did.
to that.
But the reason they went from it was a plausible asphyxiation was based on the fact that he was found in bed. But before it got ruled before that got printed on his death certificate, it was a SIDS. When we went to the doctor's office the next day, we haven't had any information yet. They wouldn't release anything to us. She got up and left because she was getting pissed at Legaco because he kept saying shots didn't do it, shots didn't do it, shots didn't do it.
And you kept saying, I told you this would happen because you
Yeah,
did.
his legs were black, big knots.
Well, once again, he kind of rushed us out of there, and he went back to his office. Well, I went back and found his office. I said, how do you know this? How are you getting information? We're his parents. We haven't heard anything. He goes, I heard it was I called. He said he called, and they told him it was plausible asphyxiation because he was found in bed co-sleeping. How does he get this? He's not a parent. They shouldn't be releasing information to him when we're his parents. It was like he already was trying to cover his tracks.
Isn't it interesting how unvaccinated babies don't die like your baby? Days after vaccines, weeks after vaccines. This is a massive cover-up. I think he called the mortuary and he did a deal with them. It's so suspicious.
Well,
it's right there. I don't care what this sounds like. I don't care what they do to us. This is the truth. We've got to start telling the truth, people. Or more babies die.
When she called,
his autopsy report said that he was a 58-year-old female with
a
male genitalia. They didn't even have his...
What?
Yes. It was all messed up. His brain...
They didn't even do a full autopsy because we called it many times and said, what was his levels, If he died co-sleeping, wouldn't he have like a lot of like carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide built up in his blood?
Your boy didn't properly wake up after those vaccines. He was sleepy. Woke up, scream, back to sleep. It's the same thing we hear with all of these SID stories. It's the same. Like the MMR autism stories, they're all the same.
Well, he's had about 3 different autopsies done on him now. Because we've had Oklahoma. We had all of his slides and everything from Oklahoma. Because I'm not dealing with that. I'm not accepting. Let's just sweep this under the rug and push it out the door.
No.
How many parents have went home and committed suicide or something, thinking that they killed their child? Because believe me, it crossed my mind several times. It has. That's hard to deal with. That's a tough pill to swallow. That you're the reason your child's no longer with you. And so we found this other pathologist, sent all his slides to him. He did a study, and his us, no, it wasn't. His death wasn't due to co-sleeping, but I can't rule it as vaccine because there's no literature out there to base that upon.
To back him up.
We are his literature.
Well, that's why we're here.
Hmm.
So we passed this to vaccine.
Who's that?
Well, that was his
My OB.
OB.
Oh, well, you put that person on. Oh, well.
But we took it to VaxCourt. It's in VaxCourt right now, and we've also had 2 other special pathologists review all his slides. Three of them, and they're all coming up with the same thing. And just one's more detailed than the other. Now, of course, the VaxCourt.
Keep looking. Find your card.
The VaxCourt people, they're all coming up and they all got 4 different sides of the story of why he died. I mean, they're just pulling stuff out of their rears why he died, but vaccines are not one of them.
Okay, well, this woman, you do not mess with this woman. She's a friend of mine and she will help you out, okay? She's brilliant. She's here. She's in Texas, so should be good, okay? So just tell her I told you to call and she will help you out. It's disgusting. It's murder.
But everybody says it's just a coincidence.
No, these people don't.
Well, that's just it. These people don't. But the people out there that are still just sheep in the herd, you know, the same people we were 4 years ago. 4 years ago, there wasn't a bus driving around with vaxxed on the side of it. We didn't know.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't know this. So, I mean, we was trying to do what we was supposed to do as proper parents.
We have to stop this what's his name again? Legago pitch. We have to stop him. What does he think he's going to do? Be a senator like Pan and do that? Do they think they're going to get in? Not if the people allow it. We have to bring this man down. And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about us. We can do this. Because this guy murdered your baby.
He's
Yes,
the
he
only
did.
one in his whole office who would not sign a sympathy card.
But again, the man's evil.
Yeah, it's more of a slap in the face. Every day that KSWO News, our local station, does anything on shots, we get to see his face.
And he got money from vaccinating your baby.
And he said our son will not keep him from vaccinating another baby.
Really? Well, we'll see about that, won't we, peeps? There's no words that can make this go away or feel better. Just know that these people are sending you much, much love. They're very angry. And, I mean, this is the second Sid story of the day. This is not okay. You know, look at our board with the... You know, which picture are we going to put up? Which picture can I have?
Yeah, you can have any of them. We have multiple copies.
This is a sweet one. Oh, this is it. Look. You want our peeps on the bus? Look at his beautiful eyes. I'm so sorry. He's so beautiful. And he would have been 3 today. Do you have any advice to other parents? What do you want to say to them?
Go with your gut. Do not ever ignore your maternal instinct, because that's what I did. Research before you vaccinate. You can delay your vaccines, but you can never undo them. And you don't want to live our hell.
Okay, I'm going to go and put some. Have you written his name on the bus yet? You've written? He's on there.
He's out there.
Okay. Is it Gunner?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go and put him up on the front of the bus.
Let's go back to these guys. We have Minnie with Spider-Man body. We have Spider-Man.
Sad guys are really seriously running out.
Minnie's Bobby. Minnie. Big bubbles. Okay. We're gonna have to blow bubbles at each other again. Let's go,
Alright guys, well
I
thank
just-
you so
I mean,
much for telling your story.
I can't even believe that they're trying to mandate, vaccines. How can you?
Mandate something that kills.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, someone's must be getting a lot of money somewhere because it ain't worth it. I feel sorry for these parents that have autistic children, but at least they still get to see their kid and still get to kiss their kid. My son's dead. I hope people wake up, do their research, quit thinking that the doctor's so much smarter than they are. I understand they went to school for 8 years, but still, you're a parent.
A school to learn how to push pharmaceutical drugs and potions and make them. Now, people want to know, yes, there are 2 other children. This beautiful girl behind, who is feisty. And this little one here are unvaccinated. How is their health?
Perfect.
Nothing. They are never sick.
Never
I've got
sick.
a 2-year-old back there that's 2 pounds heavier than her 5-year-old brother.
She's 40 pounds. That's 2
I mean,
years old.
So they're healthy, on the ball, any autism, head banging. How about that high-pitched scream?
Awesome. Unless they're mad.
Could this be the biggest lie ever told?
Oh, definitely.
We've done our own study.
Definitely.
It's right here.
Yeah.
I got our firstborn son. Yeah, he was born premature, but he was vaccinated every appointment and everything. He was.
Hand, foot, mouth from chicken
He was
pox when we
never-
had Gunner.
Yeah, he went in and got his, what is that, Cerebella or whatever?
Varicella?
The chicken pox shot or whatever. Same pediatrician. He gets this shot. About a week later, he comes down with these bumps and rashes all over him that we can't explain.
104 feet.
Running fevers like crazy. Take him to the pediatrician. I don't know what it is. It ain't chicken pox. It ain't this, it ain't that. Well, he just got his shots, and then a week later, he's coming down with a rash all over his body. Pretty much hand, foot, and mouth disease. Every time he'd go get his shots, he was sick. Just boom, boom, boom. That's the only thing that was making him sick. Then we got these 2 girls here that's never had anything, and they're the healthiest babies. She's only 2 years old, and you can hold an adult conversation with her. I know other people that's got 2-year-olds that they're still stumbling around, they don't know what's going on. But they're the healthy kids, they're the ones that are vaccinated and, keep our kids away from their kids. That's the biggest crock I don't understand. If your kids are vaccinated, why do you not want my kids in public? If anything, you're going to be endangering our kids because your kids are vaccinated and they're shedding.
The most ridiculous thing about it is this pediatrician will go on doing his daily stuff, vaccinating kids. Nobody's questioning him. None of the other medics really care. The medical council don't care. Yeah, Andy Wakefield has his medical license taken away for him for fundamentally asking the question, are vaccines safe? Maybe we should look into them. Isn't something really messed up in this world?
Very messed
That
up.
the pediatrician that murdered your baby is just walking around still taking money for vaccinating, still continue to vaccinate, not even saying sorry, showing no remorse for the fact that there was no doubt that he killed your son.
It's amazing to me how he already had a cause of death before we did. We're the parents. That ain't right.
Made up cause of death is his. Alright guys, well listen, you're an amazing family and please stay in touch with us and yeah, shame on that pediatrician. Shame on him. And I'm so sorry for you guys. We all are. Everyone's sending you lots of love.
Thank you.
Okay. A murdering little piece of shit.